Yep, Charlamagne the God.
Andrew Schultz.
We are the Brilliant Idiots, and today's episode of the Brilliant Idiots is sponsored by Talkspace.
Yeah.
The online therapy company that lets you choose from over 1,500 licensed therapists. Therapist is good, man. Therapy is good. You know, I'm about to get into therapy my goddamn self.
You haven't started?
I haven't started yet. I don't have time.
That's why you need to do Talkspace.
I'm too busy talking to myself right now. Okay?
No, for real, man. On your way home, well, that's a little uncomfortable because Wax is driving you. You might not want to open up entirely with Wax right in the car.
Yeah, because Wax is always opening up to me.
Really?
But shit I don't want to hear about.
Are you Wax's therapist?
Yes,
So you're his Talkspace?
Absolutely.
Charge him up.
Well, I'm trying to explain to him that he's the most misogynistic, homophobic, transphobic human being on the planet. He's really a caveman, bro. Like Wax is like whatever white men were thinking in the 60s, Wax is thinking right now. All right?
Whatever white men thought Emmett Till was.
Yes. Absolutely.
I feel like this is a genius design by you. Is as long as you keep the worst version of a human around you, you look great.
But nobody knows that.
That's why you're promoting
until we put him on the podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to get him on every few weeks. Every time they're coming at Charlamagne, all of a sudden it's like, hey, you know this guy's a rapist, right?
But it'll be a gradual change. You'll see the growth and you'll see the evolution.
Okay, cool.
We'll talk about that in a second. For a fraction of the price of traditional therapy, you can pick an experienced licensed therapist you relate to and feel comfortable with.
Damn right.
Now, you use Talkspace.
I've done it. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. And I'm used to traditional therapy. I mean, I've also had therapy sessions at with my therapist on the phone. Mm-hmm. But just to access these people, talk to them, it's nice. I'm someone who likes to get stuff off my chest. You actually are quite, how would I say this? You kind of use therapy. Your version of therapy is quite interesting. I've learned a bit from it. But instead of leaving things in your head so they can slowly corrode your brain,
gotta get them out.
You get them out immediately.
Gotta get them out immediately.
Like you walked in the room, and I think the first thing you said was, what'd you say to Chris?
Chris thinks Wendy Williams is hot.
Yeah. but what that says to me is you're walking down the hallway going, Chris really trying to fuck Wendy?
Yeah, I thought about it.
I got to get this shit out of my head. Yeah.
I just thought about it.
So some people don't have the comfortability or confidence maybe to just say those things, get them out of their head, but they can do it with a complete stranger, and that's where, therapy or Talkspace comes in general.
Yeah, so for a special offer on Talkspace just for our listeners, visit Talkspace.com/idiots. Talkspace. Therapy for how we live today.
Yeah.
Now, everybody has been asking me about those Wendy Williams pictures. I would just say I think they're unfortunate.
Bro. I didn't even know what
Wendy,
to say.
if you know anything about the history of me, Wendy and her husband put me in a great position back in the day, and I will not speak ill of them, regardless of how they've spoken about me. But I will say those pictures were unfortunate.
Is it karma?
Is it karma? I don't think it's karma.
Could Dr. Natasha Sandy fix that?
Nah, not Dr. Sandy, not Dr. Miami. Only person who would have a chance is
what about
Dr. Sebi.
Strange?
Dr. Sebi, Dr. Strange maybe could have cast some magic. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Sebi or Dr. Strange is my best bet, but Dr. Sebi's dead. So
okay.
God bless the dead.
The top third. No, we have to talk about thirds. We have to divide it up. Okay, the first period, if we're looking at it as a hockey game, the first period is not bad, right? It's faces, whatever, it has a little Thanos in it, but the shoulders are nice and so are the breasts. It's after the first third. What happens? Has she had children?
Bro, listen, man, like I will say unfortunate, all right?
Okay, does she have kids?
Yes, she has a son.
Just one kid?
Just one son, yes.
How much did he weigh upon leaving?
I have no idea. All I know is that the damage that I saw caused by Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Harvey, all right, the damage I saw by Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma, Jess Hilarious said some funny shit on her Instagram yesterday. She said that, in other news, Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma hit the bottom half of Wendy Williams.
Son.
That shit was funny. But I'm going to tell you something. T.I. said some real shit on his Instagram when he was like, I'm not going to do the obvious and go in on her. I'm going to just hope that in the future, she thinks about the people she goes in on. But I'm going to tell y'all something. I don't think Wendy gives a fuck.
Hurt people. You say it all the time, man. Yeah, that's where it comes from.
I'm going to tell you something. Yeah. You don't put on a bikini if you give a fuck. Because you see yourself every day. You understand what I'm saying? You see yourself every day.
Yeah,
so if you put on that bikini and you walk on the beach, you don't give a fuck. She don't give a fuck what y'all say.
Facts. Wow.
She don't care. So it's just like, y'all gonna slander her. She gonna come back on TV in September and slander people, and she gonna keep doing what she been doing her whole career.
Do you think it's a PR move? You think she knew that people were going to shit all over her, and she's like, okay, I need a little juice, I need a little heat in these streets, nobody's talking about me.
I don't know, bro. I mean, see, it's different. See, when you talk about, that's the difference between heat and like being consistent. Wendy's going on with her 6th, 7th season of her daytime talk show. Wendy's like one of the few daytime talk shows that's actually having success.
Yeah.
And it's had success.
Yeah.
So it's just like when we say heat, we're talking about, I guess, what we're used to.
Yeah.
But she got heat just in other areas.
Right.
So she don't need that. Nah, she
Yeah.
definitely don't need that.
I often wonder about that, like the difference between marketing and heat. Right? Because you see celebs do this a lot. Like a celeb, when they don't have a project out or shit is slow, all of a sudden racy pictures will come out. All of a sudden they'll be getting out of a very low set car with a skirt on, and it just so happens that maybe they're not wearing underwear and this picture goes viral.
But it depends what you call slow. I mean, you got to ask yourself, right? Like I just use examples from now. Would you rather be Kim Kardashian or Cardi B? Would you rather be Nicki Minaj or Cardi B? Cardi's hot right now. Red hot. Number 2 song in the country. All these different pop stars and shit singing her shit.
Yeah.
But Kim and Nicki been around for some years making this bread. You know what I mean? Like they're always good. They always gonna be able to get $1.
Right.
So you gotta ask yourself, would you rather be hot right now or just you were hot for a moment and then you just stayed consistently good?
What creates the longevity?
What creates the longevity? That's what I'm in it for.
I'm asking.
What creates it? I mean, I guess constantly making people care. And so to me, what constantly makes people care is talent. Like I look at somebody like Kev.
But then what about Kim? What is the talent? Beauty?
I think Kim's talent is the fact that she keeps people intrigued. I don't know. I mean, that's a talent within itself. I don't know. Like keeping people intrigued is a talent. The fact that we care, we're invested in the Kardashian lives enough to care. Like we don't. It's never been a time where we've been like, man, fuck the Kardashians. Even saying fuck the Kardashians is being invested in the Kardashians. So it's just like, I think their talent is just making people care.
And what is it about them that people care?
I always say that the reason people like watching the reason people like watching the Kardashians is the same reason people used to like watching Good Times. You watch this poor and disenfranchised family in Chicago, but they're always laughing, they're always smiling, you're invested in their drama. Yeah. And a lot of us never lived like that. Like some black people never even lived like that. Some white people never lived like that, so you're just watching it. Same thing with the Kardashians. Yeah. They're this rich, entitled, privileged family. Yeah. And you just can't believe they're that fucking dumb. The same way you can't believe Good Times, people are so fucking happy all the time. Yeah. You can't believe that this Kardashian family is so fucking dumb. And the things that they call problems, we love to look at the TV and hate watch. That's not a fucking problem. Yeah. Who gives a shit about whether or not Kim's crying over another nude picture? So we hate watch this kind of shit.
So on some level, our investment is selfish. Like we watch the Kardashians, or people watch the Kardashians the same way that they watch those addiction shows. Yeah. It's like, I feel better because I'm not them.
Yeah, and you feel better because they're living, let's be clear, their life is great.
Their life is great.
Financially.
And if I'm smarter than these millionaires, then shit, I must be pretty good. So there's something genius in, I don't know if they're dumbing themselves down on purpose. Obviously, they're putting a little bit of that, but there's something that we enjoy as human beings, which is like a superiority complex or something like that. And when we watch the Kardashians, we get to feel better than millionaires.
And I think that America is intrigued, not even just America, the world is intrigued by people that are authentic. Like, say what you want about the Kardashians, they're authentically themselves.
So we prefer authenticity, even if you're dumb.
Absolutely.
Over some
fake shit. Bro, I'm telling you right now, 2017, if you are fake, if you are putting on a front, if you're telling people what they want to hear instead of what they need to hear, if you're doing that, you're not going to last, bro. I promise you, you're not going to last. That cookie cutter shit is over. If you look at people like Katy Perry, if you look at Taylor Swift, if you look at all of those people that were huge stars at one point, they're all having a little difficult time right now. And the reason they're having a difficult time because they've been so manufactured for so long. Everything is so calculated. It's a marketing plan behind everything, a strategy behind everything. People see through that shit.
Did Trump change that in politics at all?
Yeah. Trump is the bad Bullworth.
The what? Oh,
he's the bad Bullworth. You never seen the movie Bullworth? Kids, if you've never seen the movie Bullworth, watch the movie Bullworth. Warren Beatty. Warren Beatty started fucking with Halle Berry, started hanging with the dudes in the hood.
Spitting bars.
Spitting bars because he was listening to the actual community.
Right.
So he was saying things that weren't political at all. He was telling the fucking truth.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to go so far as to say Trump is telling the truth, but he's telling somebody's truth.
Right.
He's telling it's a certain population of America. He's speaking the truth for them.
Yeah.
And that's what they want. It's not the cookie cutter, And
then all of a sudden, when we heard those other politicians, even the ones that we agreed with,
they sounded like
they sounded fucking Katy Perry.
They sounded like full of shit.
It was auto-tuned.
Absolutely.
You heard them, it was auto-tuned, and you were hearing Trump, regardless you agreed or disagreed, there was something genuine.
Absolutely.
So, say again? Chris, come on. We have a nice flow. Please sit down.
Come here. I like it.
No.
Chris get one interruption. He's using it early.
Fuck.
Come on, Chris.
God. Harry, you just threw the whammy card down.
He did. He gets one. He gets one a show.
Golly, man. My family are Tea Party supporters. My family. I told you. Then Chris looked like
I don't know what mood Chris is in today, but he did say that Wendy Williams looked fuckable earlier. So
he's in a military mood. Look at the outfit.
Okay, what, Chris?
First of all, with the Wendy, I said, she how old is she? 53.
Chris, you get one chance, and you're not going to use it on Wendy.
Please, all right, go, Chris. Please.
With the Trump thing, he's giving voice to something, but he's not authentic. It goes counter to the argument you were just making. There's nothing authentic about what he's saying.
What you're saying. So you're saying he's telling this group of people what they want to hear.
He identified what they want to hear and he's parroting it.
But how
it's not authentic.
How he speaks, put it this way.
Yeah.
If all politicians are liars, right? Let's just, and it's a hard thing to assume, but let's say all politicians to a certain extent are selling a dream.
Yes.
I don't think Bernie's doing that.
Are you kidding?
No, I think he's pretty authentic.
The math behind the $15 minimum wage that I did support back in the day, I no longer do because I actually did some research and ran some numbers on it, but it's preposterous. That being said, Bernie was also successful for the fucking same reason as Trump.
Yeah,
authenticity.
Sure. Perceived authenticity.
Fair enough.
That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. So that's what I'm saying. If all politicians are lying to a certain extent, it's not a competition on who's telling the truth and who's not. It's who's the most authentic of the inauthentic.
Well, one of the 48 laws of power, which I would say Trump read, but I don't think he reads. But one of the 48 laws of power is use selective honesty and generosity to disarm the people you're trying to get over on, right? So I think that Trump sprinkles in some authenticity, and I think the authenticity is when we see him go crazy.
Yeah.
Like when he's talking about when 1 minute he's on the prompter about Charlottesville, condemning people, and the next he's like, fuck that. There was bad people on both sides, goddammit. Or when he's like, yo, sometimes you got to punch a motherfucker. We know we used to do them back in the day. We punch him in the face. That's him really being him. So I think he's sprinkling honesty and authenticity within him trying to sell people a dream. But either way, he's still fucking telling these people what they want to hear. Like, they're vibing to it because that's how they feel.
Yeah.
Like, I played listen, I gave Donkey today to ESPN today.
Right.
And the only reason I gave him Donkey today is because I feel like somebody has to be
set up why? I'm assuming it's the Jemele Hill.
Yeah, Jemele Hill put out a series of tweets, and one of her tweets, she said that Donald Trump is a white supremacist who has surrounded himself with white supremacists. She said Donald Trump is the most ignorant, offensive president ever. Another one, she said he empowers white supremacy. See Charlottesville. So it's just like she didn't say anything that nobody else hasn't said. I mean, people have been saying that since Donald Trump's been campaigning. Like everybody says the exact
These
same
are
thing.
not hot takes.
But ESPN came out and said that her position isn't their position on Donald Trump, and they've talked to Jemele, and she realizes what she said was inappropriate. My thing is this. If your position is not with Trump and you're against Jemele, if your position is against Jemele, then you're basically saying you're with Trump, right?
So a lack of endorsement of Jemele,
yes,
is an endorsement of Trump.
Yes, especially if you're specifically saying her position is not our position,
right? And
what she said was inappropriate, which bugs me out because I'm like, how is calling somebody out on being inappropriate? Like Jemele shouldn't be considered inappropriate because she's calling somebody out for being inappropriate.
For being inappropriate.
And now when it comes to these terms,
do you see where they're coming from, where ESPN is coming from, right? I think
ESPN should have said nothing.
I think ESPN is being apolitical here, right? They're going, okay, people are cutting off their cable. Mm-hmm. Our stock is plummeting. We sign billion-dollar contracts, and it just so happens that, let's say, 40% of the people that watch ESPN voted for Trump or are pro-Trump.
Mm-hmm.
So if this one anchor offends 40% of the people watching, we have to make some sort of statement because our business is already in disarray.
I agree with you, but guess what? By making that statement, you might offend the other 40% who agree with Jamel.
You're thinking as like a marketer. I don't think ESPN is even that smart in their decision making.
Exactly, and that's why it's
you're
dumb.
marketing well.
That's why they should have just said nothing.
But your point is the best defense right here, right? Because you're saying by siding with Trump, you alienate the other side, which is the exact thing you're trying to
not to do.
Exactly.
So it makes no sense. Exactly. Like say nothing. Yeah. If you're gonna
let Jamela take the heat. Honestly,
that's it.
Yeah.
Let Jamela take the fucking heat. Matter of fact, let her go on SportsCenter and talk about it.
Boom.
Get those numbers.
Boom.
Like Jamel Hill will be addressing this issue on the 6th tonight. Like
and even have her say, listen, these are not the views of ESPN. You can have her say it because I'm sure she would go up and say, these are my views. They're not necessarily the views of ESPN. ESPN employs a lot of people from different political backgrounds, etc.
And she said it on
Kurt Schilling. Is
I don't know if he's there
on
anymore.
I think he's on. Yeah,
he got fired.
I think Sage Steele, isn't she on there?
Yeah.
Sage is on ESPN. She's on ESPN.
She was.
She's on the countdown. They demoted her or something.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Kurt Schilling got fired though.
Right.
But he jumped out the window a little bit more.
Oh, he was wild.
Yeah.
But is her Twitter handle at ESPN or is it her personal?
No, and that's the other thing too. That's the other thing too, man. Am I representing you all the time? Like I know for a fact I work for iHeart and I work for the Breakfast Club, but I got a lot of other shit going on.
But if you did some wild shit, do you think it would come back to haunt you at iHeart?
I don't know. That's a good. I mean, I really don't know. That's a great point.
Well, but on this show we've dealt with people who are ESPN personalities, and what have they said?
Oh yeah, don't ruffle feathers.
This is Disney. Disney. Don't think ESPN.
But it's different.
No, he makes a good call. He makes a good call.
I'm with you on all that, but right now we're really at a very crucial time because we've never seen anything like this before, and it's not even about politics. It's not about conservative and liberal.
Right.
I keep saying it over and over. It's not about Republican, Democrat. It's about good and evil, right and wrong. Is what Donald Trump is doing right now good for the country? I would say no. And that's not even from a political standpoint.
And you know what? I would say no too, but neither of us are the people that he's trying to do good for.
That's true too. That's
and
true too. But guess what? Coal mines ain't coming back, baby.
Facts.
Okay,
but again,
the coal mines aren't coming back,
he's
baby.
trying to do good for other billionaires. That's the only people he's trying to do good for.
Did you guys see the 60 Minutes interview with Bannon?
I tried.
You guys should listen to it. It's a fascinating conversation, and it was interesting. Bannon said in the interview, this was one of the takeaways. He was talking shit about Hillary, but he said, and I quote, he goes, "You can say a lot about Barack Obama,
yes,
and I do,
yes,
but he is incorruptible."
That's a fact.
But we know that.
We've been saying
but when your enemies, compliment your integrity, when somebody who has constantly berated you and constantly been against you, when you say he goes incorruptible in terms of
you know how they know
standard political corruption and cash.
So many women at him.
They've dug so much shit up. They're like, bro, we sent the best at him.
But son,
you know Big Booty Judy from goddamn Langley, Michigan?
For real.
The one we keep
saw sending Hawaiian bitches.
He wouldn't fuck nothing. Wouldn't left.
Bread too.
Right.
He said bread. He was like when it comes to political cash, because he was talking about Clinton cash, and he was like incorruptible. Now, he wasn't even complimenting him. It was like almost a slight, but that shit almost gave me goosebumps, dog. It's on some like Professor X Magneto shit. Like, you gotta give it up.
Bro, Barack might be Jesus, bro.
We've spoken about this shit.
Who's
that good? Who's that good?
Jesus doesn't send drones. Sorry. Barack is great.
Oh my God.
I said Jesus, not Allah, bro. First of all, he said Jesus, not Muhammad, my friend. That's very different.
What you just said is so stupid. I'm gonna tell you,
really not.
Jesus don't send drones, but his father will flood this shit. His father will drop fire on whole cities. What the fuck are you talking about, Chris? Have you not read the Bible? Those were not did Noah not warn people of a terrorist attack? Did Noah not tell people God was about to fucking drop bombs on this shit?
Like, yo, stop meeting up. Stop meeting up,
Chris.
What do you mean? What am I talking about?
I understand.
Barack Obama did some incredible things. I think it's amazing that there was no sex scandals about him.
I don't agree with the drone strikes either, because I know a lot of innocent people got killed.
Yes,
but did he not send drones over there for a reason?
Absolutely.
A reason that would better us in our country and protect us, right?
I couldn't do it personally.
What do you think God was doing when he flooded the earth with Noah?
I don't believe in God, so that's not a question I can answer.
But
man.
hypothetically, in this
Why you
situation,
shout out Jesus?
I know who he's conceptually supposed to be. I've read the Bible a bunch of times. I know what levels he's supposed to be at. So I'm just saying, don't send drones.
I think the metaphor that Sean is trying to make is he doing this for the betterment of mankind?
Yes.
And is Barack doing this to the betterment of
No, I
the
think
United States
Barack
of America?
did it
And that's his
because he
responsibility.
was under pressure from the U.S. military, and he saw drone strikes as a way to limit U.S. military deaths at the expense of what I think was probably a lot of innocent people, especially women and children. And that's a tough pill for me to swallow.
And that's a tough call for you. That's a tough pill for you to swallow. And that's totally reasonable. I think a lot of people would agree with you on that. That being said, his responsibility is to the people of the United States of America.
I don't think...
Right.
And listen, and before we're going to criticize him, his responsibility, if he did send soldiers in there and we had thousands of American casualties, you know what we would be criticizing right now?
Getting people killed.
Boom. Exactly.
I prefer the drone strikes, bro.
Fam,
No,
us or
I don't
them?
think. I don't think.
Son.
No.
prefer
Drones aren't doing anything. They make it worse. That's what you have to understand. Drones make it worse. You know how you beat what they were trying to beat with those drone strikes? With intelligence. With a lot of operatives who speak Arabic, who are in these different areas.
I've seen
who can break up
Homeland.
these cells.
It doesn't work the same way.
You think those waves of soldiers are going over there and picking and choosing who they killing?
I don't want us over there fighting.
No. But answer the question.
regardless.
Do you think when we send soldiers over there, they're picking and choosing who they're killing?
No, I know they're not.
Guess what? It might be a little kid who run up on you, strapped with bombs.
Hey,
you don't know.
listen. I got an uncle in a VA hospital right now.
How many uncles you got, dog?
They've done a lot. They've done a lot.
1,000
They've done a
family
lot.
members, son. You must be Asian. There's no way in hell.
Irish
This
have a
guy
lot
got
of
an
kids.
uncle. We can
Irish
talk
have a lot
about
of
an uncle for
anything.
every situation.
Literally anything. Hey, in South
You never
Africa.
talk about the uncle who molested him. though.
Never once. That uncle never
Everybody
exists.
got that uncle, but not Chris.
No.
Amen.
Not at all. They were in the Tea Party, but they weren't in the Diddle Party.
I come from an Irish family. Irish have a lot of
Fucking
siblings.
hey,
Listen, man, he's in a VA hospital. He's dying of Parkinson's. It's a terrible situation. And his biggest concern isn't that he's dying.
Chris got the biggest, unhealthiest family in the
Jesus
world, bro.
I'm just trying to
Is there a
share my
disease that you
experience.
don't have?
Who you leaving loudspeaker to, bro?
Me?
We need to know. We need to have conversations.
Don't jinx my
about
kids
this.
here. Listen, he's in a VA hospital. He's dying. He's not concerned that he's dying. What he's concerned about is when he was in Vietnam, he killed a lot of children. He's talked about this very openly.
Okay.
Yep.
And he's concerned that he's going to hell. He's convinced that he's going to hell because he personally killed children.
Probably is.
No,
we don't know.
Fam,
Right there with R. Kelly.
This all you.
in the child abuse section. All right. in the child abuse section. Go right over there with all the people who kill kids and fuck little kids.
He said, look, we were on trucks. Sometimes the kids would run up on you and it was all good. Other times they'd run up and toss a grenade in there. We didn't know the difference and we just started shooting
So,
after a
Chris,
while.
this is what
All
you
right?
tell this guy.
Okay.
You say, did you know that every single day, 50,000 kids die of child cancer? Cancer they did nothing for. They were just born with it.
Right.
So if God is willing to let that happen,
Right.
then he's willing to let you kill a kid, unfortunately, to save you and all your military men's lives.
I'm not even going to bring God into it. I'm going to simply say this. There's no right way to go to war.
Which is my whole point. So I'm
it
like,
don't matter
let's
if it's
not go
drones.
over
It
there.
don't matter if it's
Let's not go
soldiers.
over there.
Like innocent people going to get killed.
Yeah.
So guess what? If I'm a commander in chief, and I know that I'm sending waves of my people over there, and they're killing innocent people, but a lot of us are getting killed. My duty is to America.
Facts.
First and foremost. So if we got some robots we can send over there and do the same exact job, why wouldn't you?
Because I don't think it's accomplishing anything.
Well, whatever. I don't want to get too much.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
in
mean,
the war.
yeah,
I'm not in
yeah.
the war
Let's not
either.
go- let's-
I wish we didn't have to go to war.
Let's not get too much in this drone thing.
Yeah,
The
but
drone thing is heavy. What were we talking? Oh,
Barack
it was the
Obama.
Bannon.
Authenticity.
But the Bannon interview was very interesting
Yes.
because, and I implore you guys to, not only you guys but the people listening, to check it out, because he speaks a lot about the strategy in the campaign and the strategy what they were going for. This whole popularist or populist thing that you keep hearing about, and it's very interesting what Bannon talks about. Bannon said he knew immediately after the 2012 election how to win this one. And he was like, Mitt Romney did not have working class Americans come out for
At
him.
all. Mitt Romney was the big billionaire motherfucker that the white working class couldn't relate to.
Right, which should be Trump. But for whatever reason, and it could be
'Cause he
simply the way
talks
Trump
like-
speaks,
yeah, he talks-
because he
Trump
kind of
acting
speaks
like a
working
regular
class.
motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if he knows how to speak like a billionaire. Real
No, he
talk.
does.
Like,
Hey, I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna tell you the biggest thing that's helped Trump Twitter, bro. Tweeting like a regular Twitter nigga, man.
Facts.
Tweeting like a regular Twitter motherfucker has riled up people. I guarantee. I saw some study that said it. Social media pretty much got Donald Trump elected.
what did it say?
I don't want to misquote it, but basically it's an article you can read that shows how Donald Trump, social media basically got Donald Trump elected because he tapped into a different audience, and I think that's what makes him look so regular to people.
Right.
Like these people are like, oh shit, our president tweeting. He tweets about shit he shouldn't be tweeting about.
Yeah.
So I think that's more intriguing than him speaking. That right there is more intriguing than him talking. Because really,
You
Trump
access more people that way. Yeah.
he don't talk much. Like
Yeah.
the stuff that riles people up.
Yeah.
It's not rhetoric that has come out of his mouth recently.
Right.
Most recently, it's just the tweets.
Yeah.
But I played like some shit that Donald Trump. It's amazing that Donald Trump is president, Joe. I played like just clips from him today of things that he said that were offensive, things that he said, that are racist, that are bigoted, because you can't ever say a person. I can't say, oh, he's a white supremacist. But if you don't want to be called a white supremacist, don't talk like one.
Right.
Donald Trump speaks like one wholeheartedly.
Right.
And when you listen to it, you're like,
That's
how did he become president?
right. When you take shit out of the I don't want to say context, but when you compile all the negative things together and you put when you put together his highlight reel.
His highlight reel is incredible.
When you see Carmelo's highlight reel from last year, you're like, yo, Carmelo was good. How the fuck is this guy ranked 64?
Bro, Donald Trump told the big guy in Mexico that's the media guy, he said, go back to
Chapo?
Univision. No.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
he's in Mexico. He said, to go back to Univision.
Yeah.
Like, what
he
the
don't care.
fuck?
And Bannon even mentioned that about the Billy Bush thing. And he goes, Billy Bush Saturday, he goes, there's going to be a moment in every campaign and every movement where you find out how much people fuck with you, for lack of a better word, or if they're ride or die.
that was it.
And he goes, Billy Bush Saturdays was when we found out how much people love Trump and how much people supported him, because it didn't affect it at all.
Oh, Trump knew that before then, though.
You think?
Man, Trump said...
Because he said to Bannon, he goes, what do you think our chances are? He went around the table, and Reince Priebus was like, we're 0 to nothing. And everybody else had different. Kushner was like, we're not sure. And then Bannon was like, no, 100%. We still got it. It's locker room talk.
Trump said, I can go out in the street and shoot somebody now, and people will still support me. He said that way before them grab him by the pussy.
Teflon Don, the shit that you started, you know that Ben Shapiro tweeted that today in a daily, what's it called?
He is Teflon Don, and that should have been the first thing they ran with.
Yeah.
Like Trump can't be touched.
Yeah.
He just can't. Like, the only thing gonna hurt Trump is Trump. I mean, he is eventually gonna self-destruct, though.
Well, that's fair. But Bannon said an interesting thing also about how they knew Hillary was going to lose was the second they put, he goes, the second I became part of the campaign, they said white supremacist, they said anti-Semite, they said all these things, and they started playing identity politics. And he goes, I know what's going to win this election is the economy. He goes, usually in elections, economy can be like the 100th thing on the list you care about. It's all about other things, immigration, this, that. He goes, I knew that the people were suffering and the economy was the issue. And the more the left talked about identity politics, the more I knew we were going to win, because he goes, and this is what he said, he goes, people don't see themselves as racist, regardless if they are or if they're not.
Of course.
Doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
But they don't see themselves as racist. So when you go and constantly play this racism card and play the identity politics card, you're not addressing what they really care about, which is most Americans don't even have $400 in their life savings. They need bread. Give them money. And if you've noticed, Democrats right now are making a shift. Democrats right now are making a shift to talk about the economy, what we can do. And the one Democrat who had it right, which was Bernie, his only message was economy.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
Isn't that interesting?
because it comes a point in time where everybody has to, and it's not a honeymoon, but they have to say, all right, honeymoon phase is over. Stop talking about how this motherfucker got in the White House. Like, 'cause that's what everybody's still trying to figure out. Everybody's still stunned.
Yeah.
This guy, and every time something fucked up happens, Donald Trump's really president.
Yeah.
How did that happen? It don't matter now.
Yeah, what are we going to do?
It
What's the
don't
next
matter.
step?
Like, it don't matter now. Now what matters is how can we get him out of this motherfucker in the future?
Yeah.
Through real elections and all
Do
of
you
that
think
shit like
it's
that.
possible 2020?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Kamala Harris, baby. I'm going with the Kamala Harris, baby. Kamala Harris or Cory Booker.
What is Kamala saying about economy? Because that's literally what it comes down to.
She talks about the economy a lot. She talks about. I was reading up on her the other day. She
needs a principled, valued economic policy that's going to affect working class Americans. If she doesn't have it, she doesn't have a fucking chance.
I definitely think she does. But I'm more interested in the fact that she's not afraid to go get her hands dirty. Like she's like especially when it comes to like mass incarceration. Like she's like, let's establish programs for people when they get out of jail. Like things like that. Like
but people will see that as a race issue, which most of the country, regardless of how we feel about it, don't care. Clearly, they don't care that much about racism because
I think unfortunately you're right.
It's an unfortunate situation, but they will see the optics of it. Like it's great that 13th won all these awards and everything. That's great. It's not going to win an election. What wins an election is I have $200 in my bank account and I have 3 kids and I have diabetes. How do I get a job so I can afford all this shit in my life? If Kamala gives them the hope, she don't even have to give them a job because Trump didn't either. But if you give them the hope of a job, they will ride with her. If Democrats don't come in with the hope of a job.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've read so far, I like Kamala because she seems to be of the people. And it's not even a black thing or a brown
she's
thing.
Game. She's willing to.
She talks shit.
Yeah, she's game.
Kamala straight up said, "Yo, liberals, y'all got to stop being so soft."
Yep.
Right,
like if y'all worried about the rhetoric and the language, then we're fucked basically.
Yep.
So I there's something about Kamala I like. I mean, she hasn't heated up yet. She ain't get that Cardi B shit going yet.
She doesn't have
got that Bodak yellow yet.
So how do we get Kamala Bodak yellow?
I just think it's too early. It's 2017.
Her biggest problem right now is infighting. And I know we talked about this last week, but like the California, the system doesn't like her. The Democratic system is thinking she's moving too fast.
I think, but they said that same shit
about Barack. They
said the same shit about Barack, and then Barack ended up working.
Absolutely.
I actually think the less political experience a candidate has, the better now, because there's less votes that they can use against them to say this is what they care about in terms of policy.
Yeah, but
if real quick, if you look at what happened with Clinton, right?
Yeah.
It was very easy for Trump to say, hey, you voted yes to this war in Iraq. You voted no to this bill about minority rights. You voted no. You have a track record of the fuck shit that you've done. And then Clinton had nothing in terms of political history to go off of Trump. So sometimes we'll take the person who hasn't let us down because they haven't had the opportunity over the person who has let us down.
Fuck it, let's give him a chance.
Which is why in 2020 we're talking about Kamala Harris,
I like it.
Cory Booker. I think it's going to be someone straight celebrity is going to end up being the candidate.
Cuban.
The Rock.
Anybody, and that's what scares me. It's like you think all these celebrities sat there and watched Trump get elected and aren't licking their chops? Zuckerberg, whoever.
Johnson, baby.
Cuban thinks it's him.
I'm closing my eyes and voting for The Rock if the goddamn Rock runs for president. Because I don't give a shit. And listen, at that point, if we've got to that point in America, I'm like, fuck it, man. This is a popularity contest.
If The Rock runs on the campaign that he is going to make 6 more Fast and the Furious movies, every Mexican in Los Angeles is voting for him, hands down.
Bro, everybody's voting for The Rock, period. The Rock has never let us down, all right? When has The Rock let us down, bro?
Hold on, I'll try.
Ballers.
What'd you say, Ballers? Ballers got season 2.
They want to go on season 3.
Oh, shit, okay, they're paid.
Chris, you said Wendy Williams is hot. We're not listening to no of it.
Yeah, your takes are trash today, Chris.
Ballers,
fake news.
Listen, Dwayne The Rock Johnson runs for president, game over.
Who's the vice?
Tyrese.
Nah, not Tyrese. Kevin Hart. Kevin fucking Hart. Dwayne rocking Hart, baby. 2020. Oh, that shit'll be amazing. Can you smell what America is cooking, baby?
Listen, North Korea. When I think, what is
that? Listen, The Rock, man, hands down. You wouldn't vote for The Rock? It couldn't be Kevin Hart though. The Rock would have to go get somebody like Kamala Harris.
I'm scared that I like The Rock. You know what I mean? Like I'm already like in on The Rock.
Bro,
there's
Chris,
no reason.
Chris,
what?
Come on.
What?
You can't. You can't.
That's what Donald Trump has opened the door for, though.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
I would vote for The Rock. I'd vote for Oprah.
What about Zuckerberg?
I don't even like Facebook, so why would I vote for him to run the country?
No, I'm not fucking with
I don't like Facebook.
Bloomberg, I would vote for in a second. The problem is he won't win.
He's a celebrity blogger, not a celebrity.
He's in between.
I know what you're saying, but I would vote for Bloomberg in a second. I think he'd make a fascinating president, but I think not enough people. I think one outside of New York City And he'll go through the same thing that Sanders went through. They're like, Jewish guy.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
the
fuck
thing.
with that.
Right.
Get out of
We
here.
didn't know how that was going to play out. Everyone says Sanders could have won, but you don't know how the Jew thing was going to play out nationally.
Yeah, the Jew thing.
It's all about marketing, baby. Like, I mean, I think that's what we're like. You know, I understand the policies and all that shit, but bro, if you don't got a good marketing campaign behind that policy, that shit ain't gonna matter, baby.
Nah.
You got to get you a good slogan and everything. Say what you want. Make America great again is a great slogan.
Incredible.
I mean, like MAGA, whatever that shit is. This shit is a great slogan. It's nice and hashtagable.
Yeah.
All right, it looks good on a hat. It looks good on paraphernalia.
And it rhymes with one of their favorite words almost.
Yeah. Like,
MAGA.
yeah, like, I'm with her didn't really do it for me.
That was a mistake.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
It played off of the identity politics. Her. Who gives a
listen,
fuck?
bro, go back to Barack. Barack had hope, change we can believe in.
Son, Bannon said this. He literally goes,
Agent Change,
Bro.
was Barack's nickname.
Bannon goes, all we had to do was juxtapose Trump with Hillary, make her the representation of everything Barack promised but didn't deliver, and we are the hope for change.
Which
he
is
literally
bullshit.
mirrored what Barack did. He was hope, he was change, and that's what Barack got working class people to come out for and vote for. In a lot of ways, I think Bannon, and he won't maybe publicly admit it, but I think in a lot of ways Bannon really respects Barack.
First of all,
Maybe not politics-wise, but
listen,
really
there's
respects
no
him.
man on this planet who doesn't really respect Barack Obama. You know why? Because at the end of the day, we respect the guy who's doing everything right, even
Yeah.
if we aren't.
Yeah.
Even if we're pieces of shit and we
Yeah.
out here cheating on our women and cheating on our wives and doing the dirt, we see that guy that's not, we be like, yo, respect that dude. It's like even like that in the hood. In the hood, all the drug dealers, the motherfuckers that's killing each other, that one dude you know who's making good grades in school and trying to be something, like, yo, leave him the fuck alone, yo. Let him do his thing.
I've always wondered about that. Like, who decides who gets the pass?
I mean, I think if you're like, I can't speak for what's going on in this era now, but the OGs, 90% of them didn't want to be doing what they were doing.
So when they saw someone who had the opportunity,
Yes, they would keep them away from that shit. Like, no, little man, go play ball. Nah, little man, go get your education. And, you know, just make sure you come back to the hood. Keep it real with the community. That's it. I don't know how this shit working now, but that's how it was back in the day. So it's like a guy like Barack, he represents that.
did anybody try to push you out where they're like, no, he's a smart kid, he's reading, you know?
No.
So they didn't see it in you. They didn't see a future in you.
Absolutely not.
Now, you could come sell some drugs. You ain't gonna do shit.
The adults did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the adults, like I had adults around me that did that, but they weren't on the block. They were the teachers and like people in the community who'd be like, what? Why the fuck are you over there? What are you doing? You're smarter than this. Like that. My father was like that. I had mad people in the community was like that, but nobody in the hood. Now, when I started to like leave the block to go to night school and shit, my boys would be like, yo, I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I remember my dude Joe, salute to Joe. Joe told me verbatim, he goes, yo, man, you know what I respect, man? No matter what we doing over here, you always leave and make sure you go to school and shit. Like, that's dope. Like, when I was going to night school. So we respect the person who's attempting to do right. So everybody respects Barack Obama, man.
Yeah.
It's impossible not to. This motherfucker. Listen, that is the true sign of a person with great character.
Yeah.
Because I always say that when you get power, your true character comes out. Some people just naturally abuse their motherfucking power.
Yeah.
Not even on purpose. Somebody do it by accident. John F. Kennedy, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Elijah
Clinton.
Muhammad, Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
They didn't mean to. It's just that when all this pussy and shit was coming at them,
Right.
they was taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
Malcolm X never had those problems. Malcolm X was more like Barack.
Well, Malcolm got all the pussy before.
Exactly. He got
He
it
got
out
that
his system.
system.
He got it out. He got it out his system already. Whatever works, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure Barack got a
I already done fuck white bitches. You can't throw white bitches at me.
You think Barack?
I'm
didn't-
with God.
You think Barack wasn't fucking no white girls at Harvard?
Shit, he went from Asians in Hawaii, all those white bitches at
Barack
Harvard.
lost his virginity to a white woman.
Did he?
No, I'm assuming. I'm just assuming.
No.
Just based off
He
his.
lost his virginity to Chris' uncle. You didn't know that Chris's uncle? My uncle was actually the person that took Barack's virginity.
Listen, all I'm saying is guys like Barack, they're very rare, bro. That's rare air.
Yeah.
That's rare air. If Barack had a speck of dirt,
Would've
we
found
would
out.
know.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if it was a traffic ticket he didn't pay for.
So-
Something. Like the best y'all could come up with was
A birth
he wasn't
certificate.
born here.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Bannon even mentioned it in the video. It seems like I'm touting Bannon, but I love when rivals
You
show
like
love.
we started this conversation. by saying we like authentic people.
Yeah.
Bannon was being authentic.
That was authentic, yeah. And I could trust it because I know he doesn't like this guy's politics, so I knew the compliment was real. Because he would probably do whatever he could to take him down. It's when sports rivals are like two boxers that hate each other. They go, no, that guy can fight. He's this, that, the other.
I wonder if Bannon would have been like that if he was still a part of Trump's administration.
So my feeling from this interview was, and he mentions it kind of slightly. He goes, one of the reasons why I asked to leave was because I felt like he needed air cover on the ground, meaning he needed somebody out there in the media that was protecting his agenda and protecting what was going on in the world, because I guess the media was coming after him too much. Because again, what Bannon cares about, and it just so happened it aligned with Trump's interests, is this populist agenda, right? Is this America First agenda, et cetera. And so he thought that he would maybe be more effective if he was in the media at Breitbart, supporting those things. That's at least what he said. That could all be.
Of course, that's what I said.
I would want that.
But if you're a leader, right? If you're running for government or you have, and you even mentioned this before, like years ago, you said this to me. He goes, "The vlogs are important, or the blogs are important, and you gotta nurture the blogs." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Those people ride for you.
Absolutely.
You're in a situation; they will remember that interview you gave them. They will remember those things,
and good or bad, because they post your interviews, so they promote you, and then when things happen about you, they'll vouch for you, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? They'll still tell the story. But they'll be like, "Yo,
give you a viewpoint."
Absolutely, that's all you want at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But the long story short is people like authentic shit. Facts. At the end of the day, and what ESPN should be doing with Jemele Hill is pushing that authenticity. The fact that she stepped out there and gave her true, honest opinion. Yeah. Go with that.
Yeah.
Like we had Ebony Williams on.
Oh, God, I got such a big crush. I was telling you yesterday.
You told me that, but Ebony is like, she's like that. It would be so easy for Ebony to be on Fox and just be like everybody else. Have conservative viewpoints, not challenge, the system.
Right.
She does the exact opposite. That's what makes her stand out. That's what makes her stand out. Like, why? Like, she's going in there expressing her real opinion. She's not afraid to have the conversation with anybody. But she's going in there and she's saying what she really feels. That is authentic.
Yeah.
So once she gets, because right now she just got everybody attacking her. She got the regular conservatives who watch Fox mad at her.
She's not conservative enough for them.
Yes.
And then she's not liberal enough for the liberals.
And she's challenging their Lord and Savior, Donald Trump.
Right.
Right. But when the black and brown people get over the fact that she's a black woman on Fox and actually start paying attention to what's coming out of her mouth, as opposed to just watching her on TV and saying, "Oh, she's Uncle Tom Coon because she's on Fox," but actually paying attention to what comes out of her mouth, oh, she's gonna kill. Because she's gonna have that conservative, just like Tommy Lauren. She's gonna have that conservative side that's hating on her,
right?
So they're constantly talking about her,
right?
And then she'll have the people that ride with her and like her,
supporting her,
that's constantly talking about her.
Yeah,
Tommy Lauren did the opposite.
And I wonder if she stays consistent in her beliefs, if eventually she earns the respect from the right because they go, "No, you actually are authentic." And you kind of agree with us on some point of views.
She does, though.
She does, and then earns the same respect from the right because it's like, oh, even though you disagree with us politically, you agree with us on Donald Trump. Like, I wonder if through sticking to her policy or sticking to her agenda, her point of view, that she actually brings both of the parties together.
She could. Listen, when Donald Trump first got elected, Ebony said, "Let's pray for Donald Trump."
Right.
And let's pray for America.
Yeah.
Because why would you wish the worst?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why would you wish the worst? You don't.
Irma's gonna kill us. I hope it.
I don't want him to fail.
Yeah.
I didn't want him to fail, even though he's failing miserably. I didn't want him to.
Yeah.
I live here. You know what I mean? I want shit to get better. So she said that, and that was her viewpoint. But when the Charlottesville thing came, she was like,
"Nope."
And that's how it was. It was mad conservatives and Republicans who felt the same fucking way. That was a layup. To denounce. How you fuck that up? So when all of them, all the people that's attacking her now, I'm telling you, once she get, and that's why I want people to go fuck with Ebony Williams. Once she gets the black and brown people, to actually listen to what she's saying.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I know y'all don't like to fuck with Fox News, but when you see her on, maybe you stop the channel and just pay her attention.
Yeah.
She's gonna be out of here.
Interesting.
She's gonna be out of here because she got the motherfuckers hating on her that's always saying her name,
Yeah.
and the people that's loving her always saying her name.
That's the formula.
That's a formula for success every single time. It's been like this since the beginning of time. By the way, there is nobody who is making major impact or has made major impact that wasn't polarizing.
Yes.
Not one. I don't care who you think they are. Not one. As perfect as we're saying Barack is, polarizing as fuck. Martin Luther King Jr. polarizing as fuck.
If everyone likes you, no one likes you.
Nobody. What? It's bull. If everybody likes you, you're lying.
Yeah.
Somebody's lying.
Yeah.
If everybody likes you.
Yeah.
Either you must be telling everybody exactly what the fuck they want to hear, which is complete bullshit.
Yeah, you need to push through the initial disgust, the initial distrust, the initial ostracization.
Yep. That's the greatest compliment I receive.
Which is?
Yo, man, I don't always fuck with you. Yeah. Or it was a time I didn't really fuck with you, you know what I mean? Or I don't really fuck with you, man, but yo, I ain't gonna front, you be saying some real shit.
Yeah.
That's all you want at the end of the day. I'm good with that. Yeah. I'm good with that. Because I take either or, like, oh, I don't fuck with Charlamagne, cool. Yo, I love Charlamagne, cool. Yo, I don't fuck with you, but you say some real shit. Cool.
Yeah.
I like that more than anything because that is an honest opinion.
Yeah, it's not tribal.
It's not tribal.
And the tricky thing is, I think, in this career is you and I are both smart enough to attach ourselves to a tribe if we wanted to. Mm-hmm. Is to just assume all the opinions of a tribe, like a lot of these politicians do, a lot of actors do, et cetera, and just regurgitate them. But it's not in my DNA to just assume every single political belief of one party, Democrat or Republican.
Well, that's the fifth agreement. Be skeptical, but listen.
And that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to be skeptical, and I'm going to listen, but I am going to be skeptical, and I'm going to make my own opinion based on every single policy. Some of them might be very liberal. Some of them might be very conservative, but I'm going to have my own opinion. And I think what we like about that compliment, which is, I don't always agree with you, but I fuck with you, is it's also authentic.
Yes.
Because nobody lies about sometimes fucking with you.
Like, nobody. I like authenticity, man. That's why, it's funny, I was in Toronto.
Yo, I saw this. I didn't know that you were in this film.
Yeah, I'm also a consulting producer, but that don't mean nothing. It's the film called Body, produced by Eminem.
Congrats, yeah.
So we was at the Toronto Film Festival, and Joseph Kahn goes, what'd you think of the movie? And I was like, it was good. I thought it was cool. But it was one thing bothering me, and I had to say it. And I was trying to wait until it was just me and him, but I was like, I hated the score, though. Right?
The score?
The score.
Like the music.
The music with it. That means, and
that's huge for a movie.
Bruh, I'm telling you, man, that means a lot. I don't know if it's because I'm producing a lot lately, but that shit means something. Yeah. Like those certain moments when that right song comes on and
Avengers,
the mood changes.
Not Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Rocky.
Facts.
Rocky, man. Yeah. Like that shit means something. So I was like, I hated the score. And I was glad I said that because he was like, oh, no, that wasn't the music that's going to be in the movie. That's Eminem's still working on the music. We're still scoring it. That was just, we did that for the festival. And I'm like,
placeholder.
Placeholder.
Oh, they had to have something ready for the festival.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, well, the movie was dope then. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit made a lot of difference.
Yeah.
But I'm saying all that to say, that's an authentic opinion. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that was just like, oh yeah, that movie was. I'm like, you can't be. I know it was dope, but you had to hear what I heard.
Yeah.
Like it was. Annie Up played 5 times in the movie, like for scenes that had nothing to do with Annie and Up.
It's the love scene.
Yeah,
soft kissing. Catch that fool.
Huh? But I'm saying all that to say people like authentic shit.
Right.
They like honest opinions.
Yeah.
And I prefer when somebody, because nothing's perfect. So I prefer when somebody tells me they like something and then tell me what they didn't like about it. I gotta hear both. Don't just tell me it was good.
There's a great thing that they teach in school when you're making an argument. It's called concession assertion argument.
Okay.
And the beginning of the argument is a concession. You concede to the other side's point of view, which is you essentially make their best argument for them.
Yeah. You're right, but.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
You're right, but. And it works because you're right. If saying you're right calms that person down who thinks that you're going to agree with them. And then the but gives the rebuttal, but in a calm space. It's like, I acknowledge that's how you feel. Like you said, I thought the movie was good, but and now all of a sudden, once you say I think it's good, the guy goes, okay, he thinks it's good. Now I can listen to this criticism because I have enough confidence or self-esteem to handle it. But the people who just come out and go, yo, the score was trash, da-da-da, you might shut that opinion right out.
Yeah, that's not even a good way to present it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, you should present it like, say what you like about it first, and then say what you don't like. Because I want it to be incredible. You know what I'm saying?
You want the best fucking movie.
Absolutely.
You're a producer on the movie.
I'm in it. I'm in the producer. Of course I do. Yeah,
and you're
absolutely.
in it. Yeah.
So it's like those are the kind of opinions I like. I like when somebody tells me what they absolutely liked, but then do tell me the things that they didn't like about it.
How do I get better?
That's it.
If you don't tell me, how do I get better?
That's it for me. You do that for me, I'm 100 with you. I'm great.
Yeah.
I'm great.
Let's pay these bills.
Man. Now, with school starting up again and schedules getting a little tighter, cooking might become less of a priority. Luckily, for less than $10 a meal, Blue Apron makes it easy to create delicious seasonal recipes with step-by-step instructions and pre-portioned ingredients delivered right to your door. You don't even have to go to the grocery store.
You know I love Blue Apron, man. I'm a huge fan of Blue Apron. This is a little date night joint for me, this Blue Apron thing. I have used it a few times.
How's the kitchen in your new place?
Oh, the kitchen's done. I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready. I actually even went and got like the pots and pans thing just to, you don't think about the things you actually have to buy when you have a home. Like I had to get like a broom and all these other things. But I actually got some pots and pans so I could make the Blue Apron.
Okay.
It's what inspired me to furnish my place. So I got me some nice little pots and pans, got a nice little, what's it called? Like a wooden thing where I can put the hot pot on it so it doesn't burn my counter.
A wooden thing.
It's almost like a cutting board type of thing where you can put the boiling water on it to take it off of the stove, but it won't leave a stain on your tiled counter.
Okay.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is my counters are marble, but it's not a big deal. I don't want to talk about my life. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk about things going on here. All I'm saying is Blue Apron is fucking amazing. I would do it. You have a girlfriend, make her a nice meal. This is the closest you get to Mrs. Doubtfire. He ordered the meal from some fancy restaurant and arranged it. This is almost that. You barely have to do any more, but you actually get to cook it and get the credit. So,
well, each meal comes with a step-by-step, easy-to-follow recipe card and pre-portioned ingredients and can be prepared in 40 minutes or less. Check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/idiots. That's blueapron.com/idiots. Blue Apron, a better way to cook. We're doing the Highland Ballroom on what, September 30th?
Yes. September 30th. Make sure you check that out. Brilliant Idiots Live, NYC. Get your tickets at highlineballroom.com. It's going to be wild. I think that, we're going to have some fun little surprises in store. It's going to be a fun little thing.
And go buy Black Privilege, too. Opportunity comes to those who create it.
Yes.
It's out right now. I'm about to start working on the second book, too. By the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And real quick, we recorded another Westerbros podcast. This time we reviewed the movie It. Wild experience. It frightened me. I couldn't even pee alone for 2 years when I was a child when I saw the first one. So we went all back to see it. None of us like horror movies, but if you don't know Westerbros, it's a podcast that we started, and me and 3 of my boys that I play basketball with, and we started by reviewing the last episode of Game of Thrones. We're doing it with It, and we're going to come out with select TV shows and movies and review those as well. Next one we're going to do is Stranger Things. After that, probably Atlanta, and then definitely Westworld. So make sure you check it out. Subscribe to the Westerbros podcast on SoundCloud. We're getting it up on iTunes, right, Chris? So that should be coming up on iTunes as well. Make sure you subscribe. We have posted a couple episodes on this feed, but eventually we're just going to have them on the Westerbros' own feed. So make sure you subscribe to those now so you don't miss it. And thank you guys so much for listening. The last episode did crazy numbers, so definitely want to do more of these. And then also I have my first comedy project coming out.
441, baby.
441. Huge thank you to you for coming up with that name. I always say that you're a genius marketer. If you didn't want to be in entertainment, you should absolutely own some sort of marketing firm or something like that. I'm do both now. Well, you should. Yeah. I honestly think that
I'm tired of this shit, brother.
I'm not joking, and I mean, I compliment you privately about this. So this isn't just for entertainment purposes, but I really think that if you wanted to be, I don't know what they're called, a media consultant or something like that.
Probably a marketing consultant.
It's more than PR.
Yeah.
I think PR could be a branch of what you do, but if you wanted to be like own a marketing firm,
I could be the Black Steve Bannon.
Son, I'm not joking, bro. I'm not joking. If Kamala Harris is serious,
hey, I got her
on the low,
bruh.
But I think it'd be even better if she didn't mention it publicly. I think if you stayed under wraps,
I would love that.
Because you'd have almost more power.
I got bars for you, Kamala.
All day.
Okay.
Come holler at your boy the guy.
Come holler, Kamala. All right.
Already.
We got it going.
Anyway, so I got this comedy project coming out, 441. The reason it's called 441, and I filmed it about a year and a half ago, and it's I basically do a night in New York, right? And it's 4 clubs. I do 4 different sets in one night. I videotape the cab rides and everything in between. A lot of people don't know this about the New York comedy scene, but what's so unique about it is that you can get on stage, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a night. You can't do that any other place in the world. And I really want to capture what that is in the form of a special. Originally, I taped it. It was like 50 minutes, and I did this a year and a half ago. And I went out there and I'm like, yo, I'm going to sell this in 2 weeks. And it was a very humbling experience. It was fucking humbling. It was. I'm like, listen, I was pitching it to companies where I was like, there's no way I would even sell it to them. I'm just going to use their offer to get more from Netflix or more from HBO, whatever. And I kept getting no's. I kept getting.
Might have been too early, bro. I think Netflix buying up a lot of shit right now. I think a repositioning might be in order.
Yeah, it might happen. I mean, I think there's a few different things, but it was a humbling experience, and being told to wait. Oh, we love the idea, this, that, the other, and.
When's the last time a white guy got a stand-up special?
No,
no, I'm serious. I'm sitting there thinking, like, when's the last time a white male, an American white male, when the last time an American white male got a stand-up special?
There might be a few.
Joe Coy, Filipino. Hassan Minhaj is Indian, right?
Sure.
What's the Chinese woman name?
Margaret Cho?
Her too.
No, Ali Wong.
Ali Wong.
Yeah.
She got one.
Dave Chappelle guy.
Dave Chappelle. Chris Rock. When the last time an American white male got some bread for a
We're like
special?
saber-toothed tigers, bro. We're going extinct. It is what it is. It's okay. We're going to be in a museum. Yeah, we had a nice little run, But in all seriousness, it's one of those things where I've said it even on the show. It's like, what is it? It's don't get bitter, get better.
Yeah.
Right? And I could sit there and I could go, oh, I'm not getting an opportunity, this, that, the other. Or I could just create something dope on my own. And this is an idea that I had to do on my own. I created on my own. And initially it was 50 minutes and I chopped it down. So this version is my mixtape, if you will, my comedy mixtape. And I think it's
minority-minded special.
For real.
He's supposed to do it on his own.
For real, though. Honestly, like the way on my come up, at least in comedy, like I came up in 2 scenes. I came up in the traditional club scene, but I also came up in the hood scene, right? They call it Chitlin Circuit. And I saw how these guys operated. They created their own shows.
Absolutely.
They created their own markets. When a door wasn't open for them, they just built a new house. A new house has a door in it. So I saw how they operated. I mean, that was one of the reasons why I'm so stoked to do this, right? Every time a door has maybe been closed or I haven't been given an opportunity, I've tried to create my own. And it's one of those things where, like, I'm not going to let a network decide if I could put something out. If I want to create it and I want to put it out there in the fucking world, I'll put it out there in the world. I'll put it right on my YouTube channel because that's where it is. You can get on youtube.com/TheAndrewSchulz. It's also the Brilliant Idiots YouTube channel.
What's the date?
It's out right now as you guys are listening to this.
When it came out?
It's going to drop. Well, we're recording this Wednesday.
Okay, gotcha,
but it drops at 12:01 a.m. on Wednesday night, which is technically Thursday.
Gotcha.
And so by the time this is out right now, it will be out. And I just wanted to put it out there and really just, let the people decide. If you want to watch it, share it. That'd be so amazing. Let people know. Spread the word. And the best thing that can basically happen is proof of product. If I
might
get
be a game changer, bro.
It could be.
I'll tell you why it might be a game changer.
If people fuck with it.
A lot of people don't even like to have their stand-up online.
Yep.
Because they think it fucks up their money. But yo, man, if you're writing new jokes all the time and you creating new shit, let that shit go, baby.
Absolutely. That's what I said. It was like, I can't be too precious about this shit. We can get precious about things, but in the reality of the matter is, like, if you don't share it, they don't know. Like, even sharing the little clips that I put out there, people are like, oh shit, I gotta go check out your stand-up. I always knew you did stand-up, but I haven't seen any. And it was like, that's when I realized, like, oh, I'm being way too precious. I can't assume that people know that I'm good at stand-up.
Absolutely.
And I also can't assume that networks do as well. I can't tell you how many times people come up to you, they're like, yo, put me on. Put me on, bro. I got a song, put me on.
Yeah.
And it's like, put yourself on.
Opportunity comes to those who create it, man.
Facts.
And the most arrogant thing people can do is think everybody's aware of what the fuck they're doing.
Bro, this is why it was humbling. I've been a lead in a sitcom, right? It was on IFC and now on Netflix. I've been in films. I got a film that on Netflix now. I'm reoccurring on like hit shows. I've obviously done tons of MTV stuff, hosted my own shows, and I'm half of one of the most popular podcasts out right now. I'm like, this is a no-brainer, But the industry hasn't seen me do stand-up yet.
You know why? Because the industry is culturally clueless.
Fair enough.
And one of the most frustrating things for me is to go in these rooms and talk to people that don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, I've been doing this shit too long.
Yeah.
I have to sell myself.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I just don't want to tell the same old story.
Bro, think about it. If Charlamagne the God, 2 million followers, biggest hip hop radio show in the country, one of the biggest radio shows in the country. If you're selling yourself, I gotta have no ego.
I'm in the wrong room.
But I also gotta have no ego.
You gotta have no
You
ego.
feel me?
But I would rather work with people who already know what's going on.
Agreed, yeah.
Like they want it, like they see something like that. Those are the kind of people I like to work with. When I see something, I'm like, oh shit, I fuck with what they're doing. I want to see if I can help enhance it. You know what I'm saying? I got an idea for this person.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit down and be like, well, tell us about yourself. Like, oh my fucking
You don't know
God,
already?
man. You should know. Oh my God, you should know, man. You should know. Like, and that shit is annoying. So that's what makes me be like, fuck it, I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell all of these kids now. We live in the greatest era to create your own opportunity.
Facts.
Fuck you waiting for a network to put your stand-up special out for. You shot at yourself.
Yeah.
Here, boom.
I put it out, and again, I did a shorter version. I did something that I thought was better for the internet, and I did my research. I found out from people at Netflix, I found out from people at these different streaming services that people aren't watching the whole hour. They're tapping out early.
Them shit ain't funny though. Let's be clear.
And that also could be the
Let's
fact.
be clear.
No, that also could be the fact. You're not wrong. But my feeling was this is like, I want to put something out that people digest. Like the best meal you could have one more bite of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to put something out where people are like, yo, give us some more. Give us some more. Where's the rest?
And the best thing about it, you have no expectation. I hate expectation, bro. Expectation is gonna be the death of a lot of us, man.
Bro, low expectations kill life.
I hate it, man. Like I like literally my homegirl, my dude Debbie Dev, my homegirl Debbie Dev and her husband Dwayne,
Listen,
my
she
guy.
can present however she'd like. Okay.
they were telling me how funny Ali Wong special was.
Brilliant.
It was like, it was amazing. It was so funny. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
My wife loved it. I'm laying in the bed like, I didn't get it. But it's a lot of pregnancy humor and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? My wife can relate. My wife's crying, laughing.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like, yeah, she cool. I like her confidence. She got a confident motherfucker. She up there
great.
pregnant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I didn't like. I'm like, I didn't. It wasn't whack at all.
Right.
But I just didn't like it. It was so oversold to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I don't like don't oversell it to me. Keep the fucking expectations low.
Absolutely.
And let me just experience it for myself
Absolutely.
and come to my own fucking conclusion.
Yeah. So in that case, my shit is trash. Go. No, I'm just joking.
Hey man, just tell people go experience it. That's it.
And you said a great thing. I was like, listen, it's not a comedy special. It's not a comedy documentary. And then you go, it's a comedy experience. And that's exactly what I want you to do. I want you to feel the comedy in this, because there's comedy in not just on stage. There's comedy in the interactions with the cab drivers. There's comedy out there, and that's the idea. At least with me, with stand up, is like comedy doesn't stop. I might come on here and think of an idea. It's kind of funny. I might be off stage thinking of something, and then that might kind of be funny. And when you're someone who does create, and I'm sure you relate to this as well, it's like you don't stop thinking when the Breakfast Club stops taping.
Absolutely not. And I'm gonna tell you what y'all we all need to stop doing we need to get the fuck off social media,
bro.
It's fucking with our creativity, bro. I'm gonna tell you, like, and it's a little small experiment I've been doing, and I just notice it. When I ain't on this shit, I feel better. I'm sharper. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not thinking about what's going on there. I don't give a fuck. Like yesterday, my phone, which is so ironic, and iPhone, y'all got to stop doing this shit, because Apple, I'm hip the game on y'all.
Oh,
whenever they release a new phone, oh my God.
Come on.
For the past 2 weeks, my phone has been about to not work.
Come on, bro.
Little dumb shit.
Come on, bro.
Like won't dial when I wanted to dial, won't text when I wanted to text. Yesterday, this shit said searching all day long. Bro, and I'm like, why the fuck all of a sudden I can't get a fucking signal, whatever, right? So I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna go get a new phone. I've been holding out on it. I had the fucking 6 forever. So I went to the store. She's like, you sure you want to wait for the 8 and 10? I said, I don't give a shit. What's the last phone y'all put out? 7 Plus. By the way, that was some great customer service. I can't remember the young lady's name. I wish Paige was here to tell me the young lady's name. This girl was amazing.
Apple Store?
Apple Store. I mean, amazing. Like, I'm talking about, like, she got all my contacts over in 2 seconds, backed up my phone. Like, I was in and out in like 20 minutes. Buying a whole new phone was amazing. It was amazing. She was amazing. But, so, I get into
Let me ask you a question real quick. What race was she?
Black.
Black chick, right?
Black woman,
You ever notice they don't hire Asians at the Apple Store?
Really? Probably because they think they know too fucking much.
So they can make the phones, but they can't sell them? Is that how it is, Apple?
I have never seen an Asian at the Apple Store.
Never once. Never once. Anyway, but go on.
I've never seen a Chinese store commercial either. Somebody said that the other day and that shit is real.
What?
You never seen a commercial for a Chinese restaurant?
They don't need it. That's how
They don't
delicious
need-
the food is. That is.
But-
Even if there was one, I wouldn't trust it.
So I didn't use my phone all day yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I tweeted from the Breakfast Club page just about the show. Like,
Right.
tune in, whatever.
Right.
But I wasn't on Instagram. I wasn't on Twitter.
Yeah.
And, like, I did Dr. Oz yesterday. And, you know, my homie at Dr. Oz, her name Cheryl, salute to Cheryl. Cheryl was like, yo, you seem so loose today. Like, you know, you always come in and do a good job, but I've never seen you so loose. Like, I'm like, yeah, because I ain't been on that motherfucking social media all day. Like, that shit is, I'm telling you, man, you can feel the weight
Yeah.
come off you.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta get off that shit. We gotta take breaks from that
Yeah.
shit. Like,
Yeah.
this shit has to serve a purpose.
Yeah.
I don't like doing anything for no reason. Like, sometimes you'll be laying in your bed, you'll reach for your phone, and I noticed this yesterday, because I don't got no apps on this phone. I got Instagram. I downloaded Instagram this morning, because I got to post about the show. Of
course.
But last night, I got this phone by my bed. This is my new phone. There's nothing on it.
Yep.
It can only text and dial. I just found myself kept picking it up.
For no reason.
For no reason.
We're addicted. It's
Yeah.
an actual
Like,
addiction.
Phantom vibrate. You
Yeah.
ever feel that? You ever
Yes.
feel phantom vibrate?
And then I said to myself, like, bro, there's nothing even on here.
Mm.
Like, what are you looking for? And I'm like, yo, this shit is the best. Get off that shit. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, your creativity will increase tenfold. And everybody I know who's like really, really creative. I'm talking about the people who when I either see their work or when I'm around them, I'm just so intrigued by how carefree they are
Yeah.
and how much they don't give a fuck and how in the moment they are.
Yeah.
They're not on that shit, bro.
Yeah.
They're not on that shit like that. And I know, because when I go to their pages,
Yep.
they haven't tweeted in days.
Yeah.
They haven't posted on Instagram in days.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, that's the shit.
Yeah.
That's the shit.
I
Yeah.
deleted Twitter about a month ago, and I can say huge difference.
You deleted your whole account?
I just got it off my
No,
phone.
you just got it
so,
off.
like,
Okay.
I haven't posted
I
anything.
saw a
I
guy
haven't-
with your face on there
Yeah.
as his Abby.
He always tweets us, that guy. It's really funny.
What?
I was like, yo, Chris is popping.
He's got your face as his Abby. I thought it was you until I actually clicked on it.
Yeah.
uh,
Anyway, yeah, but I'm with you. The thing happened in Burning Man. I realized during Burning Man, I was like, wow, my thoughts are so much more clear and my ideas are so much better worked out. And I think I actually have time to sit there with them and chew on them and like digest them. And I noticed this. Remember I told you my mushroom trip, I went down? Remember, I was really great. I was seeing all the colors and everything like that. And then all of a sudden I got really anxious.
yeah.
This is what happened. I was in the middle of the desert and I'm at this skull that was that had 3D imaging around the skull and it would change. And I got service. And all of a sudden I opened up my phone and I saw tweets coming in. And I saw
poison.
comments and whatever like that. And I started scrolling through. And for the whole week, I hadn't read a single negative comment about myself. And all of a sudden, I'm just rolling through, yo, you ain't shit, your big ass nose, right? And I start going through and I'm just like, and I, when you hear it every day, you get desensitized to it. When you haven't had it in a few days, then you see it, you're like, oh, fuck, man, I got to deal with this kind of shit. And no bullshit, I didn't put it together until maybe even now. That's when my trip went negative. That's where my trip started. I started to get in my head.
Because you, this is why everybody needs to read the 4 Agreements. 4 Agreements is a quick read, 176 pages. The book talks about all these different agreements that we make for ourselves when we're young, or like in life, period.
Yeah.
Like if somebody says, man, you ugly as shit.
Yeah.
I'm ugly as shit.
Yeah.
I'm ugly as shit.
Yeah.
I'm ugly as shit. I'm ugly as shit. I'm ugly as shit. I'm ugly. Like that's what you keep hearing in your head over and over. That's why you gotta
It's about
speak.
to be a song, bro. That
Word
shit
up.
was popping. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, that's the new
But
Bodak
that's
Yellow.
repetition though. So like the message, the agreements you got to make with yourself are positive shit. You know what I'm saying? That, like I'm successful, man. I know this one person. And I pay attention. So I'm observant. Like when somebody about to take a picture, they be like, "Yo, take a picture." They be like, "Success." Like they always speaking life, always speaking success. Like it's always positive. Like they're constantly making agreements with themselves. So they start believing it. And when you start believing it, your thoughts become motherfucking things, period. Like you don't need that constant reinforcement that you ain't shit.
You reinforce yourself.
Yes.
I used to do this as a kid. For every negative thought I would have, I would force myself to have 5 positive ones. I don't even know where I developed this from. I'm talking about very young, like young teenage years. But at any negative thought, oh, you're dumb, or oh, you look goofy, or your shoes are wet, whatever, I would give myself 5. You're a good friend, you're a good brother, you're good at basketball, these types of things. And I really think it did I think it started like the ember of strong self-esteem. I think it does start from this constant reflection. I would do this early in my comedy career. Every time I got down on myself, I'd reflect on how far I've come. I'd be like, there was a time when you couldn't even go on stage and be funny, and now you're able to go on stage and be funny from the beginning. Now you're able to do an opening just joke. You don't have to start with crowd work. And I think it's important for us, goal-oriented people or success-oriented people, to reflect every once in a while how much success we have had.
That's why I always go back to Monk's Corner. That shit puts everything in perspective,
right?
Bro. Yeah. Everything. I go right back to Monk's Corner, go to my grandma's house, go to my mom's house, see what everybody else doing. Like that shit puts everything in fucking perspective. If you go sit in the room that you grew up in, and you look at all those old sources and double XLs and shit you used to read and listen to your old air check tapes and think about all the different dreams you used to have when you was young, and you like, man, I've lived up to my expectation.
It surpassed.
I've lived up to my expectation for myself. And then when you get to a certain point, you're like, now what else can I do?
Why do you think that we can get used to accomplishments so quickly? Why is it that you think that once we achieve something, we're over it? We don't relish it.
Because of what you just said. We're not enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
We're not enjoying the moment. Like sometimes we just got to sit back, relax, and be like, yeah, I appreciate this. Yeah, I'm glad that I got here. Then say, all right, now what's next? Because I got more that I want to do. I got more than I want to accomplish. Like I know I'm always writing out new long-term and short-term goals.
Like you have the number one selling book, and immediately you're thinking, what's the next book?
Yeah.
You need to at least pump the brakes and go, yo.
And it wasn't until I pumped the brakes that I got the idea for the next book.
Because you were forcing.
Because everybody already coming at me. They was looking at the numbers like, oh my God, your next check going to be crazy, whatever. I could have been money oriented and been thinking about, oh shit, I'm going to get this check. I'm going to come up with anything, whatever. But I'm like, my first thought was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
So I went to Anguilla. No phones, none of that shit like that.
Yeah.
Listening to Jay-Z's 444, watching my family have a good time, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh shit, I got it. I know exactly what I want my next book to be about.
Yeah.
And it's coming from a real authentic place, because when you're in those moments, you get to sit still and really evaluate what's going on in your life. And when you really evaluate what's going on in your life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, you know exactly how to approach things. Like, I know where I want to go with my next book now.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a patience is needed for creativity.
Absolutely. And you can't get this on this, bro.
Yeah.
This increases anxiety.
That distracts.
Social media distracts and increases anxiety. It don't give you patience.
Mm-hmm.
It don't at all. There's nothing patient about social media. How is it patient when motherfuckers are just running the post the first shit that comes to their mind? How is it patient when motherfuckers are just running the post the first story? There's nothing patient about social media. This is not the way life is supposed to be lived.
Yeah.
Like I tell when we was in Anguilla, my daughter don't fuck with the social media, but you know, she likes to record stuff.
Yeah.
So 4th of July fireworks is going off and she's recording it. I'm like, baby, put your phone down.
Just watch it.
Just watch it. You recorded a couple minutes of it already. Now enjoy it.
Yeah.
Just watch it through your eyes. Don't live life through your fucking phone.
Right.
And that's what I got to get back to. I'm going to go crazy if I don't.
Yeah.
This shit's going to drive me crazy if I don't.
So I bought an iPad. I was doing the Jim and Sam show. They got a great Sirius XM show. You did it once before.
Yeah, with Sam.
With Sam. And but both great guys. And if you listen to Sirius XM, check it out. And Sam and I were having this conversation about possibly taking all the social media apps off of the phone, but keeping them on an iPad that doesn't have a wireless service. So you only go on social media when you're home or have Wi-Fi. So when I'm on the subway or I'm in a cab or I'm in an Uber, my default isn't, let me look at my phone and distract myself. My default is actually, all right, is there a newspaper?
Yes.
Is there a conversation I can have? A book? Let me text Chris. Let me text Sean and see what they're thinking about this concept, this idea. And I feel like, and I bought the iPad. I haven't gone and cut the chain yet, but I think there might be something there. Maybe we even want to start a challenge or something like that, where we go, a week with just having your social media just on your computer, not on your phone. And
How about just go weeks without using it, period?
It's not hard. I've done it.
Well, do that after you watch
me.
441 on YouTube. Make sure
that's different, though. I'm going to be honest with you. Going on YouTube and watching shit, that's different.
I watch this.
It's the social
and that's
media.
Content. That's produced content.
Let's pay these bills, and I want to come back. I was having a real conversation about this shit, man, when it comes to groupthink and all that shit I want to talk about. Thanks again to Talkspace for supporting today's episode of Brilliant Idiots. We have got to take better care of ourselves. Putting down social media is one of them because that shit is fucking with our mental health, okay? And that's why mental health, is not nothing that you should take lightly, and that's why Talkspace is so good, okay? Talkspace is an online therapy company. They make it easy to connect with an experienced licensed therapist that you pick based on your preferences for a fraction of the price of traditional therapy. You can send your therapist texts, audio and video messages, or even do a live video chat.
See, this is a good use of your phone.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Talkspace therapists are fully licensed and go through a rigorous screening process in addition to thousands of hours of supervised professional training.
Absolutely. These aren't therapists that are just, on your phone. They're therapists who have practices. They're therapists that do this professionally for a living, and they also do this as well. So
I just mean as the medium. As the way to connect.
No. I'm talking about the actual therapist that they're going to get through the program.
Yeah. One of them came out to the Friend Zone live show and actually was part of the show.
Oh, great. How was it?
It was incredible. And people came out of the show afterwards and we're talking in the lobby. Like, I'm actually going to sign up for this.
Dude,
thing.
the woman that I spoke to a woman, she was doing it for 25 years.
Really?
She was a therapist for 25 years. So this is a brand new iteration in therapy and how they can do it. And I'm telling you, it's not that odd. When I was in California, I would call my therapist and we would have conversations on the phone and I would do the therapy session on the phone. This is really no different than that. I wouldn't say that you shouldn't try therapy in person. There's also something you can get from that. But I think this is a great way to test the water, man, get you used to this and get you comfortable with being vulnerable. I think that's one of the hardest things for people. It's very hard for me in general, but like talking about deep-rooted insecurities that you've covered up for years, and sometimes you cover them up with, fake self-esteem. Sometimes you tell yourself you're great to essentially, block out these feelings of you ain't shit. Right? So getting deep down into that, it can be a very powerful experience. So I would definitely check out Talkspace, man.
Well, to match with your perfect therapist, go to Talkspace.com/idiots. And there's a special offer for our listeners. You can use coupon code IDIOT to get $30 off your first month and show your support for this podcast. That's code IDIOTS and Talkspace.com/idiots. Talkspace, therapy for how we live today. Now, groupthink is absolutely going to be the death of all of us.
Okay, why you?
The reason I say groupthink is going to be the death of all of us is because, and I've said this on this podcast before, but I actually absolutely positively know it to be true because, this week, Trader Truth is somebody who I wholeheartedly support, especially when it comes to the rebuilding of Houston after Hurricane Harvey. You know what I'm saying? Yep. That's why I donated my money to. That's why I'm donating our resources to. Like, we got a big truck that we're loading up in Teaneck, New Jersey tomorrow. We're having to go down to Houston.
Amazing.
But it's just a lot of different reasons I support trade. Number one reason is I know that he's going to get those resources and that money that he's receiving
to the right place,
to the people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's this radio station that has banned Trader Truth in Houston. He's been banned for years.
Why?
The station is 97.9 The Box. I really don't know what the ban is over. It was like it's really a misunderstanding, something Trey didn't really have to do with, but even the people that banned him, they don't even really work at the station no more, but it's just this ban that they have on him. And they haven't been reporting anything that he's been doing in Houston, which I feel is kind of petty and it's whack because it comes a point in time where even you have to say, you know what, fuck this ban. What's going on right now in Houston is greater than this ban. If this guy Trey is pulling up places and feeding people, if he's pulling up places and handing out resources, you have to make people aware of that.
Bro.
You have to.
Like we said earlier, if Professor X and Magneto can get together for a movie,
that's it.
And put their differences behind them, I think a radio station and a guy who's raising millions of dollars for Houston.
That's it.
Yeah, it's very, to be honest, we're talking about authenticity and like being genuine. I find it very disingenuous.
It's very disingenuous.
And very selfish.
So, Beyonce and her Be Good Foundation, salute to Beyonce. Beyonce is from Houston.
Yeah.
So she came to Houston. She was like, yo, I need to go where Trey is.
I saw that, yeah.
So she pulls up you know, and her and Trey are doing this event. You know what I mean? With the giving away food, feeding people, yada yada yada. So one of the radio station, 97.9 The Box, posts a picture of Beyonce at this event
Trey?
feeding and goes, "Yo, Beyonce in the third ward." So I saw that and I left a comment and I just basically like, yo, this is some petty ass shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, it come a point in time where radio has to be bigger than this. Like, yo, who gives a fuck about a band at a time like this? Like, right now you're showing me that you care about celebrity more than you care about the cause.
Yeah.
Because if Beyonce wasn't there, you wouldn't have reported about this event. So my thing is just be consistent.
Yep.
Have the same energy.
Where
if
is
you
it?
wasn't reporting anything Trey was doing or anybody he was with or where he was at, don't do it now that Beyonce showed up. Has nothing to do with Beyonce. I just don't like the pettiness of the radio station.
Yeah.
Because when you do shit like that, you're really keeping resources away from the people who need them. If you're not highlighting what Trey is doing, if you're not talking about what Trey is doing, then you're keeping resources away from the people who need it.
It's like what you said earlier about Jamila and ESPN.
Yes.
If you're censoring Trey,
Yes.
if you value censoring Trey, you're in a way endorsing not giving money to Houston.
Absolutely. Or not supporting you. Like, it can't be
Right? Like it's
put it like this. We don't need selective support in a situation like
yes,
this.
Yes.
And at a time like this, you don't need selective support. All hands on deck, baby.
Yeah. If my girl cheated on me, right, or an ex-girlfriend cheated on me and I hate her, right, but my town is flooded and needs supplies, I'm not going to block her number and say she's not allowed to give supplies.
Bro, if she pulls up in a goddamn boat
well, shit.
and you trapped in your house, you're like, I don't like this chick, but I'm jumping on this goddamn boat.
yes,
and you're going to tell her thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay?
I'm going to be like, whose boat is this? Is it his boat?
Exactly.
Is it his?
Exactly. So I posted something, and T.I. posted something with the same sentiments. Bun B posted something with the same sentiment.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I just started getting attacked by the Beehive.
I'm sorry.
So the Beehive is attacking me because they're saying, you stupid motherfucking idiot. Beyonce's the biggest star on the planet. Why would you take away from what she's doing? And basically, and there was headlines like Charlamagne and T.I. are mad that radio station acknowledges Beyonce and not Trey the Truth. No. And Beyonce has nothing to do with this.
Yep.
I'm upset that they're not acknowledging Trey, period.
That's it, yeah.
Over a fucking dumbass radio band that has been going on for years.
Yeah.
Who cares about a radio band at a time like this?
Yeah.
You don't need selective support. You can't pick and choose who you choose to highlight at a time like this.
Sure.
If Trey's out there doing the work, if Trey's out there pulling up with supplies and resources, it's your duty as a radio station, public servants, to point people in his direction.
Absolutely.
Period.
Yep.
Why y'all got that misconstrued? One girl tweeted me, just another example of how you hate black women and always trying to discredit us at every turn. I'm like, what the fuck does Beyonce have to do with this?
One thing that was nice about burning that and not being on social media, you forget how many stupid people have an opinion and a voice and a platform for it. For a week, I didn't have to hear stupid people talk.
No, for real. And that's the problem with groupthink right now, Andrew.
My God.
It's not a group of smart people having a conversation.
And the loudest ones
are the dumbest.
Thank you.
And they have no comprehension skills.
Yep.
They have no common motherfucking sense.
Yep.
And people are following this shit now.
Yep.
Nobody's taking the time to do their own due diligence.
Right.
Meaning that nobody's going to take the time to see what prompted me to say what I said, or took the time to see what prompted T.I. to say what he said, or Bun B to say what he said. All people are going to see is the Beehive attacking. Why they attacking? Because Charlamagne is mad at the radio station for acknowledging Trey, and not acknowledging Trey, but acknowledging Beyonce.
Yeah,
bro, you couldn't be more off.
Yeah,
like that has like I'm literally looking at my timeline like I got to get the fuck off social media.
You know what would change this whole thing? And I wonder if we've said this on the show before. If you could only respond directly, you couldn't respond publicly.
No, I'm not done, Paige. Hey, just gonna walk in and say you done.
No, we're talking. We're just that comfy. If you could only respond directly but not respond publicly, like people love the public response because they get the retweets, they get the, oh shit, you're so woke, yeah, get them, destroy them, drag them, blah, blah, blah. But what if the response just went from that person to you, you two were the only ones to see it?
I don't think they give a fuck.
They won't give a fuck.
I don't think they
Which
give a fuck.
shows me they're no different than this radio station. Right?
Yeah.
This radio station wants to shout out Beyonce because it looks good to shout out Beyonce. Right? But they won't shout out Trey, even though Trey's the one that's out there. He's trying to get stuff to the people. And these people, they don't really even care about defending Beyonce. They care about looking like a Beyonce fan, looking like somebody who's woke, and they will drag you to get that personal, selfish credit.
By the way, that's their job. And I'm gonna tell you another reason social media isn't as fun as it used to be. It used to be a time when social media was just a free space.
Yeah.
Like we could go on there, we could talk, we could laugh, make fun of shit, whatever.
It was the 90s.
It was the 90s. Now it's become a job. And what I mean by that is certain people have taken it upon themselves to be these like the beehive.
Yep.
Their job is to attack motherfuckers who they think may have a problem with Beyonce. That's your job.
And if Beyonce hasn't been attacked today, but you still need to make a living, what do?
I gotta go fucking find somebody to attack.
You gotta find.
So you're searching for bullshit.
So it was a light day for Beyonce slander, and all of a sudden, Charlamagne the God mentioned Beyonce, and we're gonna turn that into some slander so we can go to work.
The man who calls himself a Pinkett Smith Winfrey Knowles Carter. Me, I would be slandering Beyonce. Really? Like, really? Like, come on, man. Use some fucking common sense. One girl said, we're taking your nose card. How dare you?
Shut the fuck up.
Once again, this is why I hate dick riding stands, and I love objective fans. I'm an objective fan. But guess what? Even in this moment, Beyonce had nothing to do with what I was talking about.
Facts.
Zero.
Facts. This is something that I don't understand about the Beyonce stans. Is their level of defensiveness. I don't know if there's a more uniformly loved human on the planet
than Beyonce. By the way.
Why are they so defensive?
By the way.
I don't get it. Who hates Beyonce?
By the way, we talk about people who are loved that are polarized. I guess Beyonce is polarizing, but not as polarizing as people that we've mentioned before. No. Yeah, Beyonce got a 98% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, like easily, yo.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
And that is the conundrum, right? This is somebody who is politically active. It's not like she doesn't have opinions. Yeah. She has strong opinions, yet uniformly loved, right? Very few people on both sides dislike or disapprove of in any way Beyonce.
Beyonce is the one person that we objectively critique. And what I mean by that is, even when people on the other side didn't like what she did at the Super Bowl and stuff like that, they focused on that.
Instead of her as a person.
Exactly.
They're like, we don't like the one's image. Yes. And they would even qualify the statement with, we love Beyonce.
We love Beyonce.
She's an amazing performer, amazing singer, what an artist, etc. So you're right. We're objective with her, yet her fans act as if there is a fucking religious war trying to get Beyonce out of the paint.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't understand the insecurity of it. They're incredibly insecure. They act as if slander towards Beyonce could somehow change an opinion of Beyonce. Nobody is out here to take Beyonce out the paint.
Beyonce don't need your protection, bro. Beyonce's good.
It's odd, bro. It's odd.
Like B is good. It is odd, and you know it just goes back like that. It's one of them. Another reason why I feel like I got to fall back from social media because groupthink. That line of groupthink and motherfuckers just really getting in line. Because they're really falling in line. Motherfuckers will see a narrative and run with it.
Yeah.
Don't even give a fuck if the narrative is true or not. They just jump right in. Yeah. No research done whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I found myself on Saturday night. Like explaining. I'm like, man, why am I explaining myself?
To dumb people who don't even want to listen. They're not here to learn. They're here to tweet.
I'm not going to be hell bent on explaining myself to people who are just hell bent on misunderstanding me. I'm not going to do it. Like, you want to misunderstand me because that's your job. And that's why I say there's no freedom on social media anymore. Even with Jemele Hill tweeting what she's tweeting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, your job should not be able to come to you and talk about that.
Yes.
You can't talk to me about I come on this fucking network to talk sports.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Now, if a political situation arises from a particular topic we're discussing, cool, I'll express my opinion.
Yeah.
But on my social media, if I want to talk about politics and how I feel about what's going on in this country, that's what I should be allowed to do. You know who should be getting in trouble for their political views?
Who's that?
Political commentators. political pundits.
Interesting.
And I don't even think they should be getting in trouble.
Yeah, it is an interesting. It is an interesting thing with allowing not allowing, but kind of monitoring the private opinions of an employee. I don't know exactly what the not legalities are, but I don't know the decision making that goes into that. I
don't get it.
I don't know, because I don't know how it would affect you. I don't know how it affects me. I've been talked to by networks that I've worked for, MTV, about tweets that I put out. And I deleted them. I deleted the tweets. I didn't think it was worth it.
That's what makes it all the more weird. ESPN released a statement.
Yeah, but I think the
MTV
best
never
argument.
released a statement about anything you did or Duval did.
Right.
They just like, yo, get rid of that shit.
Yeah.
You know what? We're not putting them on this show again. Like, it's like shit.
Yeah.
It's not public.
Yeah.
Like, why is ESPN publicly?
But let's be clear. I only deleted them because they were jokes that I didn't stand by. I was being sarcastic, right?
And nobody. Oh, that must have been the early stages of Twitter when you realize motherfuckers don't understand sarcasm on social media.
Absolutely nothing, right? But with this is a situation where she's not joking. She actually believes in these opinions, and if you asked her in her everyday life or in an interview, they would stand by them. So it's an interesting thing. If you work for ESPN, are you not allowed to have public have your private opinions public?
Yeah,
that's really a precedent they're setting. But I think you make the best argument for it, which is by telling her she can't have that opinion about Trump, you're telling her how you feel about Trump as a network.
Yes.
And that in itself could be alienating to half the country which doesn't like Trump.
Absolutely.
And they don't even have the foresight to notice that.
Absolutely. All right, let's end it with this. Triple G Canelo this weekend. Finally, the super fight.
Yep.
The mega fight.
Yep.
Who you got?
I've been thinking about this a lot. Triple G, I have him winning. It's not a confident decision that I'm making, but I have him winning, and I'll tell you why. I think a lot of people start to doubt Triple G after the Danny Jacobs fight that we were both at. To me, that doesn't make me doubt Triple G. It just raises Danny Jacobs' stock in my eyes. I think Triple G is the real deal. I haven't always given him all the credit, but I think he's the real deal. But I think Danny is too. I think Danny's an exceptional
Maybe we underestimated Danny. I think he's fighting on the undercard.
No, he should.
No, I think he is.
Oh, he is? Good, because he should fight the winner regardless. He should definitely fight the winner regardless. I love Danny. I think he's a hard-nosed kid. It'd be great if we have a New York boxing celebrity again. That would be so much fun. And but I just think he's a great fighter, and I think that Triple G is that amazing that he was able to beat another amazing fighter in Danny Jacobs. I don't think Canelo can handle the heat. I don't think Canelo has the one-punch power to push back Triple G. What do you think?
I'm going Canelo Alvarez. Okay. I've been saying Canelo Alvarez for a few years now. Canelo Alvarez is a better boxer. I think he does have the power.
Okay.
I think he has the speed, and I think he's going to win.
Okay.
I just think he's going to win. I don't know. I don't know how he's going to win. I don't know if it's going. I don't think it'll be a knockout.
I can't fathom.
I can't fathom Triple G getting knocked out. But they listen. Those two guys, if anybody's going to beat the fuck out of each other,
it's going to be those two.
It's going to be Triple G and Canelo Alvarez. All them old boxing videos we watching where they coming out swinging, fucking each other up.
Let's go.
If we're about to witness a knockdown, drag out, two motherfuckers beating the shit out of each other, it's going to be them two. But you know what? That fight has to be stopped. I don't see that fight going the distance. I don't see that fight going past 7, 8 rounds.
So 8 rounds. You think 8 rounds?
I don't know if it'll go 8. If they fight the way I think they're going to fight, I'm giving them 4.
Really?
I'm giving Triple G Canelo 4, baby, before it's stopped in some way, shape, or form. Especially in this pussy ass era where they don't want nobody to get fucking hurt.
Yeah.
I can easily see this shit getting stopped.
Yeah.
Easily.
Okay, so you're saying what round? Within how many?
I'm gonna give it 8 because I don't think Canelo's gonna come out. He's not gonna come out slugging.
Right. He's gonna be a little more cautious. You have to respect Triple G's power.
You got to respect Triple G's power.
Yeah.
Canelo's a boxer. He's a boxer.
Yeah.
He learned a lot from Floyd Mayweather.
He better have.
He's not gonna come out. He's not gonna come out and just go for it.
Yeah.
So I'm giving it 8 rounds, 8, 9 rounds, man.
I think 8's a solid. Amount. I'm gonna say decision Triple G.
I would love for it to go for a decision.
I know that is a random call. Yeah.
I would love for it to be a great fight and a decision. Can we get a part 2?
Boom.
I would love it.
Boom.
Part 2 in May, baby. Right around the corner.
Oh, for Cinco de Mayo.
That's right around the corner. Let's go.
Yeah.
Triple G Canelo Part 2.
You said decision. If it goes decision, Triple G or Canelo?
Nah, Canelo. I got Canelo all the way. I got Canelo winning this fight.
Okay, I think Triple G wins a decision, and I think I'm only saying that because it's giving respect to Canelo and his boxing ability. I think through Canelo's boxing ability, he'll earn the respect of Triple G. Triple G ekes out a decision. I think it will be 8 rounds to 4 Triple G.
And I love both these fighters. Canelo's
Great.
I love
both
him.
great for boxing.
This is the best. This is the fight.
Yeah. Do you think this could? Remember when Manny Pacquiao started fighting the Mexican fighters when he fought Eric Morales, he fought Antonio Barrera, right? Remember when he started fighting those, and then all of a sudden galvanized the Mexican fan base for himself? Do you think this fight could be that for Triple G? Do you think it could break him into that audience, and all of a sudden, because Mexican fighters love a tough, hard-hitting guy.
Absolutely. This fight is going to break both of them.
Right.
Put it like this. This fight is going to be so good that the next fight is going to bring in all the casual fans.
Right.
This fight is going to be so...
This is their 4-4-1.
This is their 4-4-1. No, seriously. This is their 4-4-1. It's going to be so good that they're like, oh, I can't miss the second one.
Yeah.
The highlights are going to be crazy.
Yeah.
They're going to be... If they both fight their regular fighting styles are made for each other.
Yeah.
They gonna kill each other. like literally. Like they're gonna fuck each other up, bro.
I know.
Like I'm expecting blood. I'm expecting both motherfuckers to be swollen.
Yeah.
Like I'm expecting motherfuckers to look like they went through a war.
Yeah.
At the end of this one, baby.
Hot. Let's do it.
It's going down.
Speaking of sports, we have a new podcast coming to Loudspeakers Network. It is a sports podcast that is going to be hosted by myself, Kaz. You guys know Kaz from Bleacher Report. You know Kaz from The Stash. You know Kaz from Uncommon Sense with Charlamagne the God. You know him as a guest of The Brilliant Idiots. You also know him from Henny Palooza. And he is going to be talking sports with myself and Akash Singh. Akash, you know, obviously from guest on Brilliant Idiots, from all the MTV fame. And we are going to be talking sports here. The podcast name is Flagrant 2. Make sure you check out Flagrant 2. I want you to subscribe. I want you to get involved. Our first episode is going to be next week. Okay, we're probably going to drop it either Tuesday or Wednesday, but it's going to be a great show full of flagrant hot takes. Flagrant hot takes. Adios First Take. Adios the rest of these shows. Pardon the interruption. All this stuff. We're coming for the throne. We're going to wear the fucking belt. So make sure you check it out.
So listen, man, as always, if you listen to this podcast, you think we're smart, you think we're intelligent, you think we're brilliant, you're absolutely right. If you listen to this podcast and think we're a couple idiots who don't know shit, you're right too.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Brilliant Idiots podcast.
And I just want to say real quick, please go check out 441, man.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for your support and always supporting the things that I've been doing. Check it out. It's available right now. You can watch it on youtube.com/The Andrew Schultz, which is the Brilliant Idiots YouTube channel. You can watch it on, you can check on my website. I have a link for it, which is theandrewschultz.com. It will be a link in my bio on Twitter, a link in my bio on Instagram. So make sure you go check it out, share it, do whatever you can. I appreciate that. And I'm also going to be in San Diego this weekend at the American Comedy Company. So if you're out there, come fuck with me. Do stand up out there.